Once again, this week's show is sponsored by OneFootball. The OneFootball app is the easiest way to keep up to date with all the latest transfer news, rumours, stats, scores and everything you need. So to download the app, just look in the description below and download it there.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Midweek Musings, the show where I pit you 3 questions on Twitter and you have a chance to respond as well as me responding as well. This week's a very tasty week, as we know there's a lot of transfer rumours going on at the moment. So let's have a look and start with question number 1, of course. Question number 1 from me was, is Declan Rice a bigger prospect than any of our academy graduates of the last 25 years? Now, that's my sort of time frame growing up. I've seen some fantastic players come through the academy since then. I've seen Rio Ferdinand, I've seen Michael Carrick, I've seen Joe Cole, I've seen Jermaine Defoe, to name but a few. Obviously, more recently, Marky Noble. But I must say, I know the game's changed a lot and I know the game's moved on from then. But since sort of Rio ish, defensive player wise, he's got to be. I think he's got to be. Rio was well lauded, so was Joe Cole. Joe Cole was supposed to be the next big thing in English football. But I've got to say, for me, Declan, for the way he composes himself, the way he's just 20 years of age, of course, the way he conducts himself on and off the pitch, I think he's got to be, and I don't want to put too much pressure on the lad by doing that, but he has got the potential to be the greatest ever academy graduate from the modern era. I can't say about the era before my lifetime. I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments section down below, but for me, yeah, I think he's a bigger prospect than Rio. I think he's a bigger prospect than Joe. And if he goes on to have half the career that them guys did, he's going to have a very good career. Let's have a look what you guys had to say. At Irons United said, big statement. I'm making the similarities to the one and only Bobby Moore are there. But the similarities to the one and only Bobby Moore are there for the naked eye to see. Rice is composed like Bobby, can read the game like Bobby, and can anticipate opposition movements like Bobby. At Enigma UK, Mike says, personally, I think he's up there. Antonio said he reminds me of him of Makaleli. Too early to say that, but he's just turned 20. And by the way he plays, if he continues to improve, who knows where he could go. The trouble will be keeping other clubs away. Greg Hobbs said, that's a big statement. One thing I will say, whenever he tackles, be it standing or on the floor, he always comes out with a ball. Never seen anything like it. Hope the club hang on to him, and we need to keep our best players to push on to Europe. At Joshua Ellis says, in terms of potential and all-round quality, Declan Rice is the best prospect for several years. As comfortable on the ball as Carrick and as strong in the challenge as Ferdinand, but was when they both came into the first team. Superb player, and one will go to the very top. At Claret and Blue, one says, when I first went, Bobby was his age, but football has progressed now. Declan he's got class and got a good head on his shoulders, like Bobby. The only player with his attitude was Carrick and Parker, growing up at Charlton. Like Bonds we saw some very good youngsters now. At Jamie Gill says, I can't compare him to the graduates from the last 25 years, but he's the best I've seen in the last 10. At his age, you can only improve from here. All for England just says Joe Cole. Den Vincent says, I can't speak for 25 years, but he's definitely the best I've seen come through the ranks in the past 15 years. Adam Smith says, no, Joe Cole was seen as the next big thing in English football in today's terms. You could compare that to Sancho. Rio also had high expectations, I believe, before my time. At Declan Rice has the ability to reach the same heights as Rio and Frank, but Cole had potential to surpass. Last couple, Vetted Reason says, no, Rio was closely followed by Cole. Rice has a long way to go. This and next season will tell. At Chris Codd says, not sure if he's bigger, but he's definitely on par with the very best we've had. And Roger C32 says, no, but he would go from be from the last decade. Bath at his age to put him in front of Rio or Joe Cole. Thank you very much for that. Now we're getting into the tasty bits. Okay. Number 2. What are your thoughts on the Marko Arnautovic saga? Now, there was a lot of rumours flying around, and I don't think it's really fair to speak about rumours because obviously I don't know Marko and I don't know the truth. But the fact that he's excuse me, The fact that he's pushing to a move for China seems to think that he wants to earn a huge pay packet before he leaves. The reasons for that, I'm not going to go into at the moment. But it looks like he's going to go. I said this on my radio show the other day. I'm not that fussed about it, to be quite honest with you. I think Marco's a fantastic player. He's probably our best player that we've had at the club for a little while now, probably since Dimitri left. There are other players around him that were signed this season that have been just as good or in some terms better, i.e. Felipe Anderson. But we are a better team with Marko Arnautovic on the pitch. Now, if it's money that he wants, is he worth the 200, 300 grand a week that he's going to command in China? Probably not in English terms. But look, that's his choice. And if he goes with my blessing, to be quite honest with you. Like, he's done well for the last year and a half. But he's 29, coming on 30. If we can get that big money for him and we can replace him with someone like a younger centre forward, someone like I think Mario, what's his name, Maxi Gomez has been Maxi Gomez, is it Maxi Gomez or Lopez, one of the two. I'll have a look later, I'll check the facts later. Then I think we should sell him. If we can get that sort of money for him, sell him and get him out the door if he don't want to be here. We don't want to get to a point where we're keeping him here beyond his will and we are sort of creating a poisonous atmosphere for ourselves. You know what I mean? Be fair, but in terms of being fair, go and get the money that you deserve for him. You know what I mean? Don't have your pants pulled down. I feel like that's one of our weaknesses so far, is the fact that we seem to get ourselves into a situation where we don't get the best or the most money we can for our players. So if the money's going to come in, I said this several times on our channel, you know, let him go. At Irons United, as everyone says, no player is bigger than our amazing club. He has stated for years he wants Champions League football. However, he signed from Stoke to us. We could say he has fallen victim to the modern game and chases the money. Turner's number 7 says, didn't think he'd leave, but didn't know about rumours until yesterday. Take the £45 million and move on. We've made a profit. He can sort his issues out. Everyone wins to a degree. We'll get by in that charming man we trust. I think he's talking about Pellegrini there. If he wants to go, then let him go. He was a big part of last year, but December showed the team didn't need him. I wouldn't say it was that clear cut, Mike. This is Enigma UK Mike, by the way. The bit about China is irritating, though. It's just be honest. People don't go to China for trophies. They do it for money. If that's what he wants, then fair enough, but don't pretend it's not. Claret Blue 1 says something more than football is involved. Something is not right. I'll leave that one there. Don Boyle says, I have no issue if he was looking for Champions League football trophies, but leaving for a Chinese club, which obviously is the only money motivated, leaves a very sour taste in the mouth. So if it's China he wants for me, he can jog on. Chris Codd says, 1993 says, shame he wants to go, but we've seen it before when it comes to us from Stoke. As long as he does the job until he goes, no hard feelings from me. Adam Ryan, simply put, he's a prick. Greg Hobbs says, I like him to stay, though fair enough if he joins the top 16, but he isn't, so it's annoying. 1, club actually get the right deal for the club, not the player. And 2, I need to leave in the right way. Don't refuse to play, give us some more goals. Vic Vinegar says, money is good, but better for us that he go to China than any other Premier League team. We all wish that he stays till summer, but that money will be that good then. The real question is, why didn't we sell him in the summer? His brother was forcing the move since then. Andy88WHU says, I hope we can keep hold of him until the summer. We won't get a decent replacement now. Chris Bradley says, I think it's imperative we keep him until the summer. The reality of him leaving is Hernandez, Carroll and Perez left. Occasionally Antonio up front. That won't help us kick on unless Pellegrini has signing up his sleeve. It's a bad idea to let him leave just yet. Jamie Gill, look, we could go on all day with these, so I'm going to have to pick out another couple. Jamie Gill says, don't want him to go. He's such an important player, and it will be difficult to replace him in January. But if his heart's not in it, we should be looking for over £50 million. Although I prefer to sell in the summer because we could struggle in that position for the rest of the season. I'm going to take 2 more on this. At Corey Kemp, bizarre that he's leaving when we are arguably in the best position we've been in for years. Accepted he's leaving, so let's get 40+ million to reinvest in the quality statement. And I'm going to pick one at random now. At G Murphy 1, we need to get rid, but only if we get a good price, as 20% profit goes to Stoke, 45/50 mil. We don't need a player who will be disruptive influence in the dressing room. I'm sure Pellegrini and his scouts will have a player or two in mind they want to buy or loan. Thank you very much for joining in that conversation. I could literally, there are 60, 70 comments on that one. I could go on that all day, but I'm going to have to cut it short there. And number 3, carrying on with the Marco Arnautovic thing, with an almost certain influx of cash with an almost certain influx of cash and wages being freed up this window, how do we spend it? Do we look now for a permanent replacement or wait until the summer and get a loan deal? Now, there are a few players being banded around at the moment. That guy, I'm pretty sure his name is Maxi Gomez, but I'm pretty sure that we're looking at him. Callum Wilson is another one we're looking at. He's done his ACL twice and they're asking 75 million quid for him. I wouldn't be buying that sort of player in January, to be quite honest with you. Look, the only problem I have with waiting until the summer is the fact that, you know, with the board, and like they've been a lot better this season, but with the board, there is a sort of feeling from me sometimes that cash that we get in for Arnie might go just go missing. So I'd rather him spend it now if I had a choice. Who do we buy? I don't know, but anyone that we buy will have to be bought with an inflated price tag, because January is not the greatest time to get in a replacement for any player. You know, it's like a chain, you know what I mean? Like, you know, they know you're getting good money, so they're going to expect more money for a player, overvalue him, and they know you're in a bit of a bind. So, yeah, it's a tough one, that one, but, you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'd say if they've got a chance to buy a player now, but if they don't buy a player now and they get someone on loan, I know I've heard like people like Giroud and Dzeko and people like that being touted. If they don't get someone permanent now, get a decent loan, but don't forget to spend that money in the summer, because it's easily for our pool to forget. Let's take some of your comments as we wrap up this musings. At Irons United again says, only if the right guy comes along, but for the first time in years I trust Pellegrini, so whatever he decides I will back. At Jack Hobson says, January is a waste of time for clubs like us. At Enigma Mike says, a striker is needed if Arnie goes, but perhaps a loan deal will do that. As for the rest, personally I would like another midfielder. Loftus-Cheek would be great, either as a loan signing, also not above drink water, but not inspiring, but his cover where the squad is thin. At Warwick Bet says, a right back on loan with an option to buy, striker to replace Arnie and Perez, defensive midfielder on loan with an option to buy to partner Rice. And then there's an argument between these two about right backs. Greg Hobbs says, I think a replacement is needed. The strikers we have left don't have 1 in 3 conversion rate, depending on the quality available in the window. Though the high prices, Solanke went for £19 million, a no name really. Jamie Gill says, hopefully we can keep an Arnautovic until the summer so we can get a proper replacement in for better value than January. I think we should sign a centre back and a DM on loan and a permanent signing in those positions in the summer. At Corey Kemp says, can't risk it at the moment and the clubs will see us coming. Wait till the summer, identify a replacement and get the deal done at the end of the season. A loan signing maybe. Gabigol could fill the void for now. At Den Vincent says, try to get your top 3 targets. If the other clubs don't want to sell, then wait until the summer. I will personally use some of the money on someone like Jared Bowen at Hull and push Antonio to striker we can sort out a more permanent solution for the striker in the summer. All for England. Lionheart says, bet Sullivan and Gold say now, Andy Carroll fit, we don't have to spend. Dino88 says, wait until we get an average replacement for Arnie at a massively inflated price. Kim Anderson, I don't know what that means, could do a great job of... Oh, he must mean think. I really think Anderson could do a great job of striker with Hernandez along him worth a go. It just says not Kim after that. Adam Smith says, look for a long-term target now, but if not available, get a loan until the end of the season and assess again in the summer. Vetty Dreesen says, loan deal will be made to pay our way over the odds for a goal scorer. Use Chicho as part of a deal to come the end of the season. And Chris Codd says, 1993 says, if we can't get a top player in, then let's do it. But if we can get a top player in, let's do it. But if not, then loan a couple of lads and hope we can carry on winning games. My reading is awful. Hope we can carry on winning games and playing well. Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV's Midweek Musings. We'll be back again, sadly not this weekend, because for the first time in a long time we haven't been able to obtain tickets to Bournemouth, even though we've been to every single game known to man at West Ham for the last 3 or 4 years. Somehow we didn't have enough tickets. There is a conspiracy theory as to why, but we'll be looking into that and looking into seeing if we can bring some more information on that. One more thing before we go. Our microphone. Our trusty microphone. Now, this was one of the... people have always said this. Any inaptitudes with the microphone in the last few years has been down to us or been down to wires or something like that. This microphone has been with us for the last 3 years. Since we started the channel, it's been with us for the last 3 years. It's been around the country with us more than several times. This week, when we went into the Arsenal game, we noticed a problem with it before when we was doing the preview with Robbie. It was doing a little bit of cutting out. Obviously, something's gone wrong inside of it, and it still seemed to have given up the ghost. Look, this was one of our... this is not a cheap microphone. Believe me, this is not a cheap microphone. This is in excess of £100, coming up £200 when we bought it. Probably not so much anymore, but it's been around the country. It's seen a lot of action, this microphone, but it's given up the ghost. We will have a new microphone this weekend, ready for when we go to Wolves and ready when we go to the game after that. I can't remember what it is. Liverpool, I think it is. So don't be put off by the microphone. It just give up the ghost this weekend. There's nothing I could have done about it. There's no way we could have told about it. The sound it just come out very quiet. I think there's something inside, there's some connections inside that's gone a bit loose. I'll try and open it up and use it as a spare in the future, but rest in peace, the old Rode NTG2. Served us well. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV's Midweek Musings. Don't forget to check out all the stuff coming up this week. Don't forget to check out On The Social that went up yesterday, the West Ham Week that will be up Friday, and any more from us that we see. Click subscribe and the bell icon so you get all of our videos into your sub box. Leave a like on this video. It always helps us to do that. Gets us recommended, gets us recognised by a lot of people, gets us shared, and also we're steaming towards 50,000 subscribers, which is absolutely magnificent. So if you aren't a subscriber, please click a subscription. As I said, click the subscribe button, click the bell icon, try and get us to 50,000. I'm going to do some little charts and what we've done so far. Our aim was to fill, when we first started this channel, was to fill the bowling ground. We've done that by some amount now. Now the next aim is to fill the 60,000 Olympic Stadium. Then when we've done that, we want to fill the San Siro, and when we've done that, we want to fill Old Trafford, and when we've done that, we want to fill the new camp. We want to keep on producing this content for you guys. So thank you very much for watching. One thing left to say: come on, you Irons.